Business Financial Network.
Good day. This is Roger signing in for the BFN, the Business Financial Network. Welcome to our special podcast series, Know Your CEO, where we get exclusive insight from the CEO of one of the many companies our investment audience has been following as we continue to assist our viewers in the discovery of unexplored brand new asset classes and emerging issuers in the world's markets. And it's a huge pleasure to introduce Mr. Ian Fraser, the CEO of Fathom Nickel. How are you doing today, Ian?
Really well, Roger. Good to see you again.
Yeah. Awesome. Great to have you here. At BFN, we believe that companies don't succeed, people do. So please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, thanks, Roger. On top of CEO, I'm also VP of Exploration, and that's been my passion. I've been an exploration geologist for 35 plus years. Yeah. I've been fortunate to have a couple of successes, was able to, discovery to production, get a gold mine into production in Saskatchewan, and had the same experience in Colombia recently too, where I was working with young geologists, and they currently are the employees of the company, and they're working in the mine that we discover initially and then eventually put into production. And I'm looking forward to doing the exact same thing with Fathom Nickel, our portfolio of nickel properties.
Agreed. And I think that you've had experience with one of the projects there for a while, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the Albert Lake project, which was our first project in our portfolio, I have a history with that project that goes back to 1998. And it's always been one of these things that I just thought, at some point, somebody's got to do this right. And I think we're starting to demonstrate that, and just really looking forward to continue to develop the project and ultimately prove that there is more nickel in the ground at the Albert Lake project.
Unbelievable. Fantastic. Look forward to it. So since our coverage of Fathom, there's been more than a 300% increase in share price. So congratulations to all the investors and all the viewers that have been watching and have taken part in the excitement around Fathom. Can you tell us a bit more about the developments that have led to that level of growth in this current small cap market?
Yeah, well, that's been an evolving story, and I think we can trace it back to September of 2022 in particular. This is when we announced the auction agreement to earn in on the Gochagger Lake project, and then we were able to follow that up with obviously our exploration, but I can get to that in a minute. But there's been a very, very strong effort on part of management to get this story out. And Gochagger Lake has been a tremendous compliment for our Albert Lake project. But getting the story out to investors, continue to build our solid shareholder base, get new eyeballs on the story, and just that in coincidence with some very positive exploration, I think is starting to gain some confidence within the market that shareholders are appreciating what the efforts at Fathom Nickel are producing.
Agreed. And what are some of the unique characteristics that differentiate this nickel exploration play amongst the many others?
I think there's a very simple answer to that, Roger, and the answer is grade. You look at the production grades that came from the Rottenstone mine at the Albert Lake project, a small operation, 1965 to 1969. 3% nickel, almost 2% copper, and 9 grams platinum group elements. There aren't very many places in the world where you get that mix of metal at that grade. And Gochagger, we have now demonstrated that was what was interpreted to be a low grade deposit. There are some very, very significant lenses of high grade nickel within that deposit itself. And secondly, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is a tremendous jurisdiction for exploration, and it's always puzzled me, why would nickel mineralization, nickel camps stop at the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border? we have, excuse me, we have the same geology. Everything is the same age. And so it's up to Fathom Nickel to demonstrate that Saskatchewan can host world-class nickel camps.
Agreed. Yes, agreed. And I believe that Saskatchewan also made the cut on a report from the Fraser Institute as being one of the top 10 jurisdictions that mining plays should be paying attention to and people should be focusing on. So, and I believe it's also a very friendly jurisdiction for mining. So it's exciting. It's very, very exciting. Can you discuss, if any, challenges or obstacles that Fathom has faced during its journey and how they've been overcome?
Well, that's an interesting question. Initially the company was private, and then we had the opportunity to become a public company in 2021. Mm-hmm. Our goal was to raise $3 to $5 million in our initial IPO.
Yeah.
And our timing couldn't have been more perfect. And we can thank Elon Musk for that. It's just we hit the nickel euphoria right at the peak. And we ended up raising $11.5 million, and we were priced at 70 cents. So we knew right away that was going to be a challenge. How do we maintain that level? And unfortunately, there was a bit of a collapse in the nickel euphoria, and ourselves and our peers, we started trending south. But I think we've been able to overcome that. And now with our recent successes at Gotchagar Lake, strong exploration efforts and success at the Albert Lake, we've been able to overcome the obstacles within the market and just relying on strong fundamentals, I think is sort of what's pushing our share price back up in the right direction.
Agreed. And even your executive focus on meeting brokers, institutions, bankers, even how we got a chance to meet each other. We met each other over investor luncheon. So I'm really impressed with your guys' level of consistent exposure. You guys are in Montreal recently for the Mining Expo. You were in Toronto recently talking to more institutions, more brokers, more fund managers. So you guys are really, hitting the street with your feet to meet people and talk about the project. So my hat's off to you. What are some of your future plans?
Well, we're as you mentioned, and thank you for the compliment, Roger. We're going to continue to market this story. Along with the marketing initiatives, you've got to follow it up with strong fundamental exploration, and I think we're being very, very successful at that. As we speak here today, we have two geophysical crews, one at Gotchagar Lake, one at Albert Lake. The Gotchagar Lake project, where we're surveying all the holes that we surveyed initially with borehole EM that had never been done at the Gotchagar Lake project. We're doing those again, utilizing a different configuration, which is going to give us a greater degree of confidence of how this high-grade nickel mineralization is aligned within the Gotchagar Lake deposit. And that's going to create multiple drill targets that we'll be testing towards the end of the middle of August, towards the end of August, with the goal of following that drill program up with a very, very aggressive drill program in Q1 of 2024. And at Albert Lake, we're currently doing surface EM surveys over top of the very, very robust soil geochem anomaly that we've been speaking about in the area that we call the Trombley-Olson claims. And here too, just the nature of this soil geochem anomaly and the amount of metal and the amount of precious metals that we've detected in soils, we're pretty confident that we're sitting over top of something pretty special. And this particular survey is just going to fine tune our drill targeting exercise. And we look forward to drilling at the Albert Lake project as well, sometime in the near future.
Fantastic. Well, Ian, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for taking the time to share with our investment audience your company's most current status. And we look forward to seeing you in the future for more updates.
Well, thank you very much, Roger. And I look forward to that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Cheers.
Business Financial Network.